Hey guys, welcome back to season 15 of AOR. This time we are in Bahrain. I'm gonna try and make up for my, well, a bit disappointing performance last week, although no fault of my own. Roll the clip. So hopefully I can do a lot better than that this week. And as you can see, I'm already P5 on the grid, and as you can see, I'm green by 1.5 tenths. So I should be looking to improve, but unluckily there is I think there's 3 tenths from my time up to Lil Ryan 4th place. So we're gonna have to fight over 3 tenths in order to improve, I think. So this lap is probably more about trying to fend off the people behind me. But it's been an okay lap so far, as you can see. Really nailed that first section, but in this middle sector it's been a bit poor so far. And then so we're coming up to turn 10, probably the most difficult corner there is on this track. It seems to do okay, a little bit slow. You know, I want to take it more easy on so I can be sure that I don't make a mistake. But as you can see, I lost a bit of time. It's not into the uphill section of the track. It can be difficult to hit this braking point, and of course I didn't, as always. And now we're going up to the third sector. I'm still 1.5 tenths up, so it's not going to be enough to improve unless I find something magical in these last corners, but I don't think I will. So hopefully we can keep some people behind us. As Bahrain is one of my better tracks, I would say, but obviously it's probably because it's just the easier track, as I bought that braking zone as well. And now we're going to run up to the line. I was 3 tenths up, but now we're falling down. What's going to be 2.5 roughly, and we're still going to be in P5, and that is going to drop us to P8 on the grid, I believe. So it's an okay qualifying. We actually out qualified Fredster, so I can't be too disappointed about that. But let's get into the race. And here we are on the grid, and as you can see, Fredster is behind us, and we are in P8. Obviously starting on those supers, a bit unfortunate, so it's going to be tricky to make the one-stop work, but here we are away. And it's an okay start, not the best one, but it's better than the hideous starts I had in the past. Just going to try and go easy into the first corner. I actually haven't made contact with anyone, that's quite good, but I think we've got Fredster on our inside, and he's just managed to get through in that. Ooh, I think that man put some pressure on Diehard, who's already behind us. I think he qualified like P15 or something, and he's already up here. That's a bit surprising, as we just try and sneak up the inside of Fredster. There was a bit of a dive bomb for me, but I think he's going to have it on the outside anyway. Yes, he is. I mean, there's no point in really battling with Fredster, because he's just going to move through the field, I suspect, with him probably being the fastest guy in this tier so far. But we've got a surprise EOR Bottas on pole today, so it's going to be interesting to see if we can actually win, as he nearly got disqualified in the first race. But as you can see, we've got Diehard behind us, which I'm not too fond of, because we all know his nickname, Captain Dive Bomb, so I'm going to have to be on the lookout for Red Bull up my inside, but hopefully I can keep him behind me, as I don't really want to lose to him, as you can probably imagine. And we've lost a bit of ground to Fredster right now. Oh no, he's actually bottled it. And can we? No, we can't just squeeze up the inside. It was nearly an overtaking opportunity, but we just didn't have the traction to do so. But now that probably leaves Dive Bomb. Yeah, and indeed he does live up to his name. Dive Bomb completely dive bombs us, and we are. I think did Dasher hit the back of me? Yeah, he did. So that's ruined his race, unfortunately, with front wing damage. So I think that was a bit too aggressive from Diehard there, as he did slam me off the track, and he did go over the curb as well. So that was, where's Turtle just dive bombing me as well? What's going on right now? People are just dive bombing left, right and center. People need to relax and not drive like Max Verstappen everywhere. Just because you can make him move and force me to avoid it doesn't mean it's an overtaking opportunity. It's been crazy so far. Hopefully the race will calm down a little bit, as I'm in the point still. But we're now cut onto lap 4, where, as you can see, we've moved up to P10, and we've got Turtle behind us. He's way behind us, and we're trying to make a move on Dyer, but he's just a bit too far ahead. But as you can see up ahead, there's been quite a battle. Did they go 3 wide into that corner? I think they did. With Zebro and I think Lil Ryan, like maybe it's midget up ahead, I can't really see, but it's really kicking off up there. As you can see, we've been quite close from the start of this race. And someone is definitely going side by side. It's Giant and Lil Ryan going side by side, and then Zebro's lost out to Diehard. And they're still going side by side up ahead. Maybe we can capitalize on this. That's the old Diehard, it's Zebro, and now we are up, it's inside. And did someone just get spun off there? I think they did. I think Giant just spun someone off there. So now Turtle tries to go up or inside. He's on the outside. I try to squeeze him as much as I can. And I think, is he going to try and make a move down to P into turn 10? Yes, he is indeed. But I'm on the outside. I should have the better traction than him. Is he going to stay behind? It seems like he's going to stay behind. Or is he going to make a move? Please stay behind me. And I cut off to try and defend, and he didn't make a move. That was quite an eventful string of corners there, I must say. But we're now up to P9, and Diehard's moved up a place, so that's good for him, as now we've got Zebro sort of trying to make a move on and up there, but hopefully we can keep this position. As we now cut on lap 6, and we've got Turtle behind us. He's a bit close. Maybe he can try and make a move. I try to go a little bit across to say, don't do it, but he does it anyway, and tries to force me off track. It wasn't the biggest dive bomb, but still it was quite aggressive. It's now on our inside, and we try to force him wide, and I do. We kept it clean because it's easy to get spun off there, but he's down the side, and what that was aggressive. What Jackster's there as well? What the fuck? How did he just get there? We must have gone free wide into that corner. That was quite a spectacular corner, I must say, as we now have... Do we have someone on the outside in Charlie? No, he just manages to back up. That was sick, but now maybe we can make a move on Jackster here. We have to run, but I don't seem to have any edge in top speed whatsoever. He's just lacking a little bit, so I just decided to let him through. Not let him through, but just let him go, because there was no real reason to dive bomb him there, so probably just would have crashed, as it is in the bed. Oh, Turtle spun! What the fuck? This is going nuts, this race. He must have hit the curb and then spun out or something, because we're now into the point anyway. Like, we keep losing position, and then someone's bottling it up ahead and we gain it again. This is quite mad, as we're now behind Jackster as well, as you can see. Diehard's a bit up ahead, I think, battling with Zebro. And we've got some people. Oh no, they spun! No! For fuck's sake, and that's my race over. Oh well, yeah, pretty much over. Lap 7. Gonna try and let back to the pits. I think, what was it, Diehard came together with Zebro or something, so he's been involved in 2 collisions now, if you count mine. Oh, fuck's sake. And then with this damage model and one-stop strategy, there's nothing we can do, and as you can see, I pitted for the mediums. I'm gonna try and do my best to make them last, but you know, it's gonna be so difficult. Hopefully me and Jack up ahead can have a bit of a battle, but I'm not expecting too much of this race now, because, you know, doing over 20 laps on these tires is going to be very, very difficult. And as you can tell, we've cut on to lap 21 as nothing happens at all. So just, oh, I hit the curb. Oh, there's a bit of a moment, and Jackster's gone through again, as we've just sort of been trying to pull away from each other, but we have similar pace, so we've just been like letting each other through and trying to create a gap, but it hasn't really happened. So it hasn't been the most exciting race of all time, I must admit, but now you can see we've got Diehard behind us, who obviously got some damage as well, I believe, from his crash, so we're gonna watch out from him. As we've now caught someone, I think that's Turtle battling with Little Rye. It just was a bit of a lag spike, but I wasn't really expecting to be battling with anyone in the remainder of this race, but they're going side by side. Can we capitalize on this? Ooh, they've nearly gone 3 wide as well, as they just both lost momentum, but it's not quite enough for me to get the momentum to try and dive bomb them down to the last corner, but they're going to side by side as well. Will they break a bit early? Can we get the drive? We definitely got Jack, who's gone a bit wide, so that's unfortunate for him, but oh my god, what I'm going to do here? We've got to have the DRS. Should I throw myself into the midst of this battle? I don't really know. I don't think I'm quite far enough down to do it, so I just break a little bit earlier. Oh, they come together and I nearly punched my front wing, and that's Jack and Diehard gone up my inside. What the fuck's happening? And now they're going side by side. This race has been mad with the racing so far. Please, Jack, go on, make a move. I know you can. Come on. And he goes down the inside, and they just break a little bit early and had to try and avoid. They're going side by side now. Please, I hope they don't do the same thing as Diehard did with the other guy earlier in this race. Please stay clean. I know they've been bundled off completely, and that's I think race over for Jack. I'm not sure if he has any damage or anything, but that was a bit unfortunate. But he's still behind me, so hopefully he can come back at this race. But we're not behind Diehard. I'm gonna try and do my best to pass him, but obviously I'm gonna try and make my tires last. He's now cut onto the penultimate corner lap, sorry, and as you can see, Ice has caught us on the soft tires, and I'm trying to do my best to hold him up so Diehard can get far enough ahead to get that 1 point. So it's going to be a battle with me and Ice for the remainder of this race, hopefully, and hopefully Die Hard can get ahead, but it's going to be tricky to keep him behind us, because obviously with those softs he's going to be so much faster. I think my tires are like 78% or something like that, so it's going to be a real struggle. They should be good enough to last to the end of the race, I hope, but I am keeping him behind me right now, but I think Die Hard isn't really going too far out and in front, but obviously as you can see I'm driving as slow as I can to try and hold them up. 79%, so yeah, my tires are definitely going to last to the end. There shouldn't be any trouble there, because I think they can go well into the mid 80s with no trouble. As we again go extra slowly, just careful on the throttle. I think Die has now, what, 2 seconds up ahead, so then maybe that should be enough to keep him behind. As we now just go into the final corner again, as slow as you can, and try and keep him behind us. What's my car just leaning? What's happening? My car isn't working. What the fuck? My car, I can't get. And that's my race over. What the fuck just happened? My car just malfunctioned. It just malfunctioned. At least you couldn't drive in a straight line. And I'm thinking what happened is, if you go back and listen, maybe you can hear a slight pop as I exit the second to last corner, and apparently my tires blown up on the straight. I don't know, and it was 78%, and Die Hard finished his race on 91% tires, so I have no fucking idea why mine blew up. So that's fucking annoying. And the even most annoying thing is Die Hard's mic wasn't working throughout this race, and he had a penalty. So as you can see in a minute, he's gonna finish behind Ice as well, because he has that penalty. So I mean, we could have switched the cars around so I could try to get the point, because obviously he was never gonna get it with his penalty. So I was kind of fuming after this race, because I mean, I could have got, I think, like, good points was on the cards if obviously I hadn't crashed into Die Hard early on. So it's been a up and down race, I must say. You know, it could have gone very well, but obviously all the crashes sort of prevented that. But sort of race, like wheel to wheel racing was good this race. Like, there was a lot of battles and excitement, but I think some people need to realize that just because you can make a move and force the guy wide and then go through, doesn't mean you have to make that move. You gotta race with some respect, because if it's either avoid it or crash, that's not really, that's a Max Verstappen way, and we've all seen how that's gone for him. So I'm a little bit disappointed with some of the driving standards of this race, but hopefully that will improve next time out in Spain, and I'll see you then.
DJ playing the songs we're feeling, and we won't stop until he's finished. These are the songs we